Is love like the snow? Does it arrive silently, with no fanfare? Yuki was clicking the picture of snow. On the train, everyone was enjoying their time. Yuki was also going. She was very happy about her life because she had bought the dress she liked. Suddenly a foreigner tried to ask her something, but she told him that she wasn't able to talk. She was having a difficult time. Suddenly a man named Itsuomi came and could speak English. He started helping him and Yuki was happy to see him. She remembered that he was from the same school her friend Rin was studying. The foreigner left and now she started talking with Itsuomi in sign language. She tried to tell him about his hearing inability and when she tried to write to him, he stopped her. He started talking with bold lips and she was nervous. She also told him about Rin, and he asked if she was leaving or not. She was staying and his stop came. He patted her head and while leaving told her to meet again. She was touched by him somehow. Until now she was in a world where sounds have no sound. She woke up and followed her routine. She left for school and started running. She was a cute girl. In the school she met with Rin and started talking. They talked about Itsuomi and Rin told her that she was interested in his boss. Rin asked if Yuki was also interested in Itsuomi but she got shy and refused. Rin told her that she wanted to visit their cafe but was nervous so she couldn't go. But Yuki told her she'd accompany her, and they decided to go there sometime. At night she got prepared and while leaving told her mom about the dinner with Rin. They were looking at the door of the bar. Rin was a little shy, but Yuki looked great. After cheering each other up they walked and opened the door. Our handsome man was standing, and the girl got first sight of him. She was a bit nervous and thought that he was handsome. Rin started talking with him and suddenly her crush came. Kyoya was also a cool guy. He started talking with Rin and Yuki was looking at them. Suddenly Itsuomi jumped into her privacy and asked for a drink. He gave her something to write, but she refused because she was 19. She asked how many languages he could speak. He spoke English, German, and a little Chinese. He was learning Spanish, and the girls were amazed. Other customers also came, and a girl kissed him. Yuki was jealous. She thought that he lived in a different world, and she was a little sad. Suddenly she saw Rin and she was already exchanging contacts with Kyoya. She also tried to write to Itsuomi's contact but found it too early and stopped. She was nervous and when they left, she was quiet. Rin was worried for her and suddenly Itsuomi asked to drop her. But Rin told her that she'd go on her own and he could drop Yuki. Rin made the chance for her girl, and they started walking on the beautiful snowy roads. She was silently following him and suddenly he grabbed her because a bike was about to hit her. She was melted in this scene because he was holding her hand. She had felt cold before, but his big and rough hands made her hands fiery. She was wordless at that moment. His arm was covered with the snow, but he was holding her hand. Suddenly she took back her hand and asked for his contact. She was nervous but he agreed to give her. He also asked to teach her sign language and she did it. The girl got the eye and they started chatting. They were leaving and suddenly she stopped and asked if the world was huge. He said yes and asked to come into her world. She turned and was very happy, and started jumping. Itsuomi was also happy to her with such a crazy smile. Kyoya and Rin were also doing well. A boy named Oshir was waiting for someone and Itsuomi was in the salon and thought about Yuki. She was thinking about him, and her mother said she would be late, and she was shy because she was already late. Now she met with Rin, and they started talking. Yuki thanked her for last night and told her about Itsuomi. Rin told her that it was a common point for her group to meet. When she looked around, Itsuomi was there. He was talking with girls and Yuki found the girls pretty. He was about to leave, and she stood up, but suddenly Rin summoned him, and he turned. When he saw Yuki, he came to her and she was nervous about eye contact. He was looking at her and he asked her something. When she tried to write, he was very close to her and she was shy. She answered him, and he tried to tell her that he was leaving. She came to know that he was going to Laos, and he left. When she went back to Rin, she said that Yuki looked deeply in love and Yuki was also feeling a different vibe. Rin told her that someone was staring at her. He was Oshir, her childhood friend. He asked about Itsuomi and Yuki answered him in sign language. He was behaving weirdly. His friend came and tried to praise the beauty, but he told him that Yuki was deaf, and he ignored Yuki. Rin also learned about Oshir, and when Yuki got a message from Itsuomi, she was blushing, and Rin told her that she was glowing. Yuki asked her about love and Rin told her that she was in love form last night and suggested she choose for herself if she wanted to have a crush on him only or wanted to be in love with Itsuomi. Yuki was happy with Itsuomi. Oshir found a deaf and helped him. He met with Izumi, and they started talking about Yuki. Oshir was looking at the sky and she was looking at him. Yuki was enjoying her daily life, and she was missing Itsuomi for some unknown reason. She was unfamiliar with love. At night she got the picture from Itsuomi and she was happy to see the different side of the world. He told her that he would be there within a few days, and she was happy like out of the world. She was standing at the stop and saw him. She signed him. He used sign language, and they had a little chit-chat. She was enjoying a new feeling. It was beautiful on its own and she wanted this to be love. They were standing together, and she wanted to ask him a lot of questions. She was about to take out her phone, but he held her hand and gave her a Laos souvenir. She was happy for some reason. She thanked him and he patted her head. She was blushing at home, she was obsessed with the souvenir and thought about her past life. She lived a life only in a deaf school and had not seen the world outside it. She was happy there, but one day she decided to get more. She was staring at Rin, and she was talking with her friends. Oshur came to her, and they started talking. He told her what Rin was talking, but she said she didn't want that. Oshur's moving fingers always made her think that he was worried for her. Suddenly our hero bumped into her, and they made eye contact. He patted her. She remembered the day when she saw the college and felt fantastic to see the wonderful world. She was looking at Rin and Itsuomi. Oshur was talking, and Rin noticed her. She ran and jumped to her, and Oshur left but told Rin to avoid that because Yuki was deaf. Yuki talked about her love with Rin, and she screamed. Everyone was staring at them. Yuki also tried to talk with Itsuomi, and he was making signs, and she went with Rin, whether it was love or not, but she was happy to feel that emotion. Now she was trying to make a guide in sign language for Itsuomi, but she found it very difficult. Her mom also made her shy. She went to the restaurant with Rin, and she was as normal than before, but Yuki was nervous. They started talking about her machine, and Yuki told him about the sounds it makes. Kyoya found it embarrassing and stopped Itsuomi. He started his work, but Yuki wanted him and gave him the guide she had made. It was amazing and she was red. Itsuomi tried to make a sign, but Yuki helped him, and when she found they were close she moved back. He refused to use it because he wanted her to teach. She was happy and taught him a sign for cute. He held her and it was embarrassing, but her heart was saying it was okay until it was him. Suddenly the door opened, and Shin and Emma came in. They were conducting weirdly, and Yuki found Emma pretty. Shin gave her the card of his salon, and Itsuomi grabbed him and apologized to Yuki. Kyoya told her that they were friends and Itsuomi was serving them, but Emma was holding his hand and Yuki got jealous. She went silent and didn't know how to overcome that. She was lost and they were about to leave. Suddenly Rin saw Itsuomi with Emma, but Kyoya told them that they were only friends and becoming something else was impossible. Yuki was relaxed and Itsuomi summoned Kyoya. Itsuomi said goodbye to Yuki. Rin was happy, and Yuki was silent, and she thought that her race had started for Itsuomi. The next day Rin was still happy about Kyoya and Yuki was spending days with the normal flow, but something was missing. It's been 4 days, and she had no contact with Itsuomi. She felt jealous and texted him. He asked her to meet him, and she got ready. While leaving she told her mother that she'd be home soon. While going Oshur saw him and threw tissues at her. She tried to ignore, but he stopped her and asked where she was going. She told him that she was going to meet Itsuomi, and he started behaving like her elder, but she said she had informed her mother. He tried to yell, and she ran to Itsuomi. She came to him and sat. He gave her a drink and took one for himself too. He showed her the currency from another country, and she was happy to see the coin. He told her that he had more currencies but not right now. They started talking and he called her cute. She showed him some other signs for cute, and patting head was also one. He called the world of signs fascinating. He said when he met her for the first time, he got a diving force for life, but our girl was deaf, and she didn't hear anything. She tried to show him the sign for more and she was struggling for that, but he grabbed her hands and stopped her by hugging her. She was lost in her thoughts, and when she found they were close moved back and he smiled, but she was happy to see him smiling. The time passed and now they had to go back home. She said she loved the snow and he asked for a sign for love. She asked to whom he wanted to make that sign. He said for traveling and she got the answer. They started moving and he gave her the safe side. She asked if Emma was his girlfriend, but he said she was just a friend. He also asked about Oshur and she tried to explain, but he got the answer and stopped her. They promised to meet soon, and the little filled heart didn't want this time to be finished. When he reached home Emma was waiting for him and he didn't give her any attention. She even tried to come close, but he moved her away. He told her that she could use anything and was about to leave. She tried to stop him, but he moved away. She was angry at him and suddenly saw the sign guidebook. Yuki will get the love she wanted or not. Subscribe to our channel for the latest updates.